What's going on, YouTube? Back at it with another video. Man, I hope y'all having a good day. I hope life treating y'all well. And if it's not, if you're going through the worst shit ever right now, man, just know God is not going to put that on somebody that can't handle it. Simple as that. If he know you can't handle something, he's not going to put it in your way. So if you're going through something right now, just remember you're only going through this shit just for the future. There's going to be somebody in your life that's going to be around you that's going to go through the same thing, and you're going to be able to be the one to teach them and get them through it because you've been through it already and you accomplished that shit and you overpassed it and you became a better person. Simple as that. It's like high school. The world like high school. You know, you got your person that just go to school and go home. Nothing really ever happens to that person. You got your people that really want to go to college, so they got to put extra work in the classroom and stuff, extra study. You got motherfuckers that's made to be on the football team, so what they got to do? They got to work. They got to go through bullshit. They got to go through, you know, training their body, hurting their body, go through pain just to get bigger, get stronger. Imagine if you did it. Imagine if you was trying to be the best football team and you didn't do no practice, no work, no nothing. You just like, it is what it is. You niggas gonna suck. And that's the same thing in life. Now, all the little trials and tribulations you go through in your life is just practice for game day. And game day is the help. Because that's what we here for in the world, is to love each other and to help each other, right or wrong. So anything you learn is just a key for you to help somebody else out. Facts. For real, Sean, bitch. But yeah, man. Before we get into this video, man, I need y'all to like, comment, subscribe. I need y'all to look to God and just say thank you. Thank you for giving me another day. Thank you for blessing me, period. And thank you for just allowing me to breathe, allowing me to see my kids, allowing me to see my niece, my nephews, my mother, my father, whatever it is that you get to see. Even if it's something little, look at it as a blessing and just thank God for it. Let's get into this video. We got a 9-year-old boy outsmarts a killer preacher. The preacher part is crazy. Now, if it would have been like preacher molester, that's not crazy to me. That sounds like what preachers do. They just be doing weird, freaky shit. I don't know. It's not many preachers I trust in this world, but it's a lot I do. It's crazy. But killer is wild, bro. Your preacher's a murderer? Man. And then why is it when it comes to preachers always a little boy? Like, they don't fuck with little girls. That's crazy. It's always a little boy or the deacon. The lady that hold the door and shit or some shit. Yeah, it's always one of them two. But yeah, man. Before we get into this video, go grab you something to drink, something to eat. You know, get ready. Simple as that. The case of Andrew Hockensmith. Sound like a loogie. Let's do it though.
What happened today?
I ran very fast with my baby sister.
Oh, he definitely is a Hockensmith. I ran very fast with my little sister. She was attached right here to me. There's no way he was catching me. I wouldn't allow it, not with my little sister with me, no.
I just didn't want to be killed.
Hell no, real shit,
The boy
my
you
boy.
see here is 9-year-old Andrew Hockensmith.
Y'all get a good look at Andrew real quick. That's Andrew Hockensmith right there. That's a motherfucking superhero. God put the trials and tribulations in his way and he overpassed them shits. You hear me? He did history, bro. He escaped a kidnap, a killer, and saved his sister. Oh, my mama, you got all my respect, nigga. He's only 9. Damn. Somebody send this man some money.
An hour before this footage was recorded, Andrew was living a happy life with a loving and supportive family. His parents were the owners of a local pawn shop in Danville, Kentucky, and had welcomed a new member of their family, little Naomi. Andrew was so happy to be a big brother and loved his baby sister more than anything in the world. But on September 20th, 2013, the family's life took a disturbing turn for the worse when the 9-year-old boy heard gunshots and screams.
911, where's your emergency?
Come here quickly because I'm afraid. Please hurry.
Okay, they're coming, okay?
Okay, they're coming. Okay, they is definitely in Kentucky, motherfucker. Danville, Kentucky. Where we don't allow your kind here. Damn. Kentucky Fried Chicken.
In the quiet town of Danville, Kentucky, Andrew Hockensmith lives a happy life with his father, Michael, his mother,
like
Angie,
cool
and his
little family,
13-month-old
too.
sister, Naomi. When Andrew's father first met his wife, Angie, it was love at first sight.
Angie was a real nice young lady, and she was really his first love. They was just so happy together.
The young couple shared a strong religious faith, and Michael worked as a part-time youth pastor in the area. They were both very active in their church and very well known in the community, but Andrew's father did not make enough to support the family as a youth pastor and needed another source of income. That's when a friend in the church community and another religious leader, Pastor Alan Keith, had an interesting proposition for Andrew's father, Michael Hockensmith.
Mike and Angie both looked up to Alan, and Andrew, he looked up to Mr. Keith as an uncle. He thought he was his uncle there.
Pastor Keith, a well-known religious figure in the area, preached in multiple churches about the Word of God, but on the side, Pastor Keith had a unique side business, running and owning pawn shops.
Usually pastors and pawn shops don't necessarily go together.
Yeah, it don't make sense. It's like he hiding something. A pastor with a pawn shop? What the fuck? You sell dope? Because I'm starting to think you do. You either sell dope or you murder people. But I don't know about the murder part, really.
Buying precious metals, videos, and CDs and things.
Between that and the Bible, that was his life.
Pastor Keith loved God and preached every Sunday throughout Pulaski County. Pastor Keith also loved money, and more specifically, gold. Through Pastor Keith's leadership and guidance, Mike joins the business.
Everything. You can't love God and love money. That's like loving the devil and loving God. That's two totally, like, you can't. Like, I love money the most out of everything in life, bro. If you love money out of everything in life, you need to find some shit you really enjoy. Because what the fuck? Who loves money, bro? Like legit. Like, if you could, like, ask God right now, like, if you could have one thing in life, what would it be? And you say, I want $1 million. And God put you in a room with $1 million. You're just going to be in there with paper. I really think about that. Like, damn, okay, got all the money. Now what? Like, fuck. Y'all need to find some other shit y'all love. Like, if it's money, like with me, I really enjoy money. I really, really, really enjoy money. I love the fact of money. I don't love money. I love what you can do with it, you know? I love the fact you can just live a comfortable life. You can go to sleep when you want. You can eat what you want. You can buy what you want. Take your mom here. Take your dad here. Random person you seen in Walmart. Fuck it. I feel like buying you a car today. Yeah, I'll buy you a car. I want to buy you something. You can do anything with it. You're just happy. But I don't... if you just love actual money, like you just love looking at it in your bank account, like, damn, nigga, I got $20,000. And don't spend shit, like, hell no. Fuck no.
Himself and starts to work at ABC Gold Games and More pawn shop. With the new business rolling and the arrival of baby Naomi, life is good for the Hockensmiths, who genuinely enjoy spending quality time together. Angie and Mike even make the decision to homeschool young Andrew so that the family can stay close even during the day. Now, each morning, Andrew, his parents, and baby Naomi all hang out in the family's pawn shop.
The pawn shop, that was basically my home. We had all the knickknacks of a pawn shop, from like games to movies to all sorts of junk. It was basically a playground. I absolutely loved it. It was simply amazing.
But things take a disturbing turn for the worse on September 20th, 2013. At 9:17 a.m., a 911 dispatcher in Kentucky takes a call. On the other line, a young boy's quiet voice tells him about an ongoing robbery in Danville.
911, where's your emergency?
Is a robber at a pawn shop?
9-year-old Andrew Hockensmith pleads with the operator for some help. And while the dispatcher tries to get as much information as possible, he hears something even more unsettling. A baby crying.
Where's the robber? Where is he?
He's right here right now.
The pair must try to remain silent.
He's right here right now.
The pair must try to remain silent, as any noise will easily alert their location to the
Mama,
robber
nigga, that's
still
scary,
lurking in the
definitely with a
shop.
baby.
Come here quickly because I'm afraid. Please hurry.
Okay, they're coming, okay?
That, please hurry. That hurry. Oh my mama, put this bitch in. Hurry. Pedal to the motherfucking metal. We got some motherfucking kids to save. Grannies, what? Ain't no way as a police officer I could hear that shit. Where you at? You said there's a robber in the house, huh? Well, I need to take some information down, and I just need you to stay on the phone with me. Please hurry. I'm on my way. Simple as that. If please hurry. I can't hear that from no child or not help. I just can't. Me personally, I can't do it. That shit fuck with my heart, nigga. Them kids, man. Fuck, man. Fucking with these
Right away,
kids for.
the 911 operator dispatches the patrol unit. While the terrified 9-year-old stays on the line, officers hurry to the scene, unaware of what they're about to face. Within only 6 minutes, officers arrive at the scene. Aware of the urgency of the situation, authorities attempt to open the front door of the store, but it's locked, so they break the glass and force their way in.
Oh God,
as I made entry, you know, all I was thinking about was, is the shooter still here? The first thing that I noticed was a huge smear of blood to my right in the lobby area of the store.
I don't care how many times you've done it or seen it. There's nothing that truly prepares you for this.
Their worst fears are confirmed when they discover.
You definitely don't get prepared for it, and you smell it. Like if somebody been shot, you gonna smell. When you walk in, you smell it. Somebody been stabbed and a lot of blood then came out. You smell it. Smell like a bunch of. What's the best? It's like smelling. Like, you know, the little metal on your jacket, or like the zipper part. Take that right there. You know, grannies. Yeah, take this right here and smell that. The little zipper. That's what it smell like if your shit like this type of feeling. On me, like a pocket full of pennies and shit.
For 3 bodies lying on the floor. Not knowing if the killer is still inside, they quickly clear the scene, looking for the 9-year-old caller. Guided by the dispatcher, there's a sigh of relief when the officers find the 2 young children still hiding. Both of them are directly taken to the police station, terrified but physically unharmed. Back at the pawn shop, cops and detectives fill up the store, while a forensic scientist starts to examine the bodies. It's a difficult scene to analyze since the store is selling guns and ammunition, making it harder to identify what's a clue and what isn't. A first female body is lying near the register, a second one, a male victim.
Damn, so dude probably just came in there straight blasted him, boom, bam, or just came in there talking like, yeah. Pow! Because if I'm in a pawn shop, you round all them guns, I know you got one and you got guns behind the register and everything. How did they let that happen? Man, that's right there. That's why you can't trust somebody. If they ain't your best fucking friend, like you call them your brother and all that, don't trust nobody. Because motherfuckers will switch overnight on your ass. Nigga, always be ready, prepared to blow a nigga down. I don't care if y'all been knowing each other 15 years. Be prepared to smoke this nigga if you got to. I'm telling you, like, you could be at your job chilling and he just got animosity against you because you just doing good, or like you get all the women or something, and he go in his house and his girlfriend talking about you and shit, and then you go over here and his cousin like, man, you know that nigga tried to just help me out with what? Now he's starting to build hate, and he don't even know why he hates you. That nigga will kill you about that shit. Don't let his kids or his girlfriend like you. It's over with. He gonna kill your ass. And you gotta be prepared. Like, damn, for real, I didn't know you was gonna be like this, bruh. What's going on? Yeah, you gotta be prepared.
Is on the other side of the counter. A trace of blood leads to the 3rd victim.
That's why I don't be going
places.
I be paranoid.
One of the bodies
I feel like everybody gonna do something.
To a location where if someone peered into the front door, they wouldn't be able to see that body.
And I'm going.
The victims
spray it
had
all.
been shot multiple times, possibly after they were down. The only thing at that time that we could determine was that the spent casings appeared to be from a .22 caliber weapon.
Damn, killed a nigga with
Andrew's
22
paternal
is
and maternal
whack.
grandmothers, Charlene and Barbara,
That
rush
shit
to the
hurt.
crime scene, wanting to make sure their family is safe and also understand what's happening. From a distance, they can see yellow tape behind the cop cars, and as they approach the pawn shop, more and more officers prevent them from going further.
And the policeman would not let us up to the shop. They said, you cannot go in. Well, I just broke down at that point. I knew they were gone. And my heart just sunk.
Now for real, you pull up to any crime scene and it's like somebody you know, like a loved one or something, and they say you can't go in, just know your loved one dead. Simple as that. Cause why can't go in? Why they can't come out? Cause if you're not dead, you're gonna be sitting outside talking to the police. You're gonna have like a little blanket over you or something if it's cold or whatever, or you're gonna be sitting in the back of the ambulance because they trying to, you know, work on you to make sure you good. Like, if you're not dead, they're not keeping you in the crime scene area. So you pull up to the crime scene and they don't let nobody in that motherfucker, and you don't see your people that the shit was about, just know they ain't make it. Sorry.
Understand why?
That shit's scary. That's
What have they done so bad
feeling
they
too.
deserve to die? Would not comprehend why anyone in their right mind will.
That motherfucker right there is definitely a Hockensmith. Barbara, come down there and grab them biscuits out the oven. I think they're done. I don't want you to burn top of it. Make some of that gravy you say you're gonna make earlier. Yeah, that's a Hockensmith. Fuck. Nigga, don't play with her like that. She don't do that shit. She don't fuck that bitch. That motherfucker take a whole pack of cigarettes and pat them bitches out. Light them hoes up, nigga, and don't even feel them bitches. You hear me? Professional professional pack smacker. Yeah. Cigarette packages. She worked them bitches in. Freaked them hoes out, you know? Yeah. Hockensmith, eh? Riding along in my automobile.
The first two victims at the front of the store are identified as Michael and Angie Hockensmith, owners of the store and loving parents of Andrew and Naomi. The third victim is 60-year-old Dan Smith, a regular customer of the Hockensmith who would routinely buy and sell gold in the area. At first glance, the scene looks like a burglary gone wrong. The Hockensmith store is indeed a pawn shop, therefore a target of choice for people wanting to steal valuables.
Yeah.
However, a crucial piece of evidence doesn't make sense with this theory. Dan Smith's suitcase is open on the counter and is still full of money, as well as the register. Why wouldn't the robber take some money with him before fleeing?
As I continued to process the scene, I discovered that over $1,000 from the cash register was still there.
They wanted to kill them.
Both Mike and Dan's wallets hadn't been taken. It made me start to think that the victims had been targeted for a reason other than robbery.
Detectives are puzzled by the setting of the crime scene. If it wasn't a robbery, then what happened? Were any of them specifically targeted by the killer?
We're like, what do we have here? It was a hit. Was it on Dan Smith?
Dan Smith was a gold buyer. He carries a briefcase with him with a large amount of cash.
Yeah, that doesn't mean shit though. If you carry a large amount of cash, the briefcase was still there with all the cash and gold. There's a bunch of guns in here. Ain't nothing taken. Bro, they wanted to kill that man. It wasn't like no robbery at all. That shit,
His wife was able to tell us that he would do a certain route on certain days of the week. So he goes to his bank, he gets the money, and then he had a lot of pawn shops that he went to.
The investigators go to Lawson's Jewelers in Harrodsburg, a store on Dan's normal route, just 19 minutes away from the Hockensmith's pawn shop.
He walks in with that same briefcase and then talks to the lady behind the counter and just appears very relaxed, laughing. Has no idea, obviously, where he's headed. I don't even think it was a full hour after this. Dan Smith was killed.
There was nobody that
not my nigga Dan.
appeared to be paying any particular attention to him. There was nothing that stood out.
We really were kind of baffled at this point. Who was even the target?
The detectives' initial strategy of focusing on Dan doesn't pay off. They have no suspects and no leads for any of the victims. The murderer is still on the loose, and both families are mourning. News of the murders reaches the town and surrounding cities, and everyone is shocked. Nothing like this ever happened in this small town.
2 young children are without their parents tonight after they were murdered inside their Danville, Kentucky pawn shop. That store is located just blocks from Center College. As Matt McCutcheon reports, one of the kids called 911 and shielded his sister from the violence.
The town of Danville demands answers for these tragic murders. Even Pastor Alan Keith, the one who introduced the Hockensmith into the pawn business, shares his sorrow on social media and pays tribute to the victims. No sleep at all. I am in shock right now over the loss of 3 great people. I also knew the third man. He was a business client and a good friend.
We're now learning that the suspect in this case, apparently police say, made his way out of this garage door and then took off through the alley, never to be seen from again.
If you have any information, call Danville Police at the number now on your screen.
There's no time to lose for the police as the killer is still on the loose, but they still have no clear motive or even a specific suspect. At this point, Andrew could still be a target without the cops even knowing why. The young orphans are now being protected by authorities at the police station.
The young orphans. Why did you say that? The young orphans. That was racist. I don't give a fuck. Nigga, I ain't like that. You called them beautiful children all the whole fucking video. We 10 minutes in. And now they orphans. Motherfucker. They just lost their motherfucking parents. You don't see. This one don't be fucking with certain type of people right there. You see how they switch up on you?
And will soon go under the care of their grandparents. Everyone in the quiet town is still baffled by who would want to harm both families and end the lives of these young children's parents.
Ain't it crazy, like, how we just seen a interview of him as an adult? Like, bro, his life is, like, documented. Like, his whole, like, he, like, considered an orphan. Like, his whole life is documented. What if he like my fan or something and he get on here just to watch and I'm watching him? He got to relive all this again. Man, if you are, bro, I'm so sorry. I did not, I 100% didn't know. Like, I just thought about that. Like, damn. Imagine that. Like, he got to relive this because it pop up on YouTube, Facebook. Somebody might know him. Be like, bro, I seen it. Somebody might watch this right here and know him in real life and be like, bro, you know the comedian Trvn, Trvn? Oh, bro, he was watching. I'm so sorry about your dad. Like, god damn. I didn't know you were an orphan. Like, this motherfucker. That shit's crazy. And we don't know what she looked like now.
Want to harm both families and end the lives of these young children's parents.
Wow.
Officers struggle to figure out what their next step will be when a call comes in with a promising lead.
Imagine losing them parents when you already had a relationship.
Danville, Kentucky pawn shop. And immediately my heart sunk because I thought a friend of mine still owned that shop, Alan Keith. So that's when I called him. Immediately, as soon as I started talking to him, it was an odd conversation.
Once Kenneth Allen's name was mentioned, we started looking, okay, who is this guy?
He was involved in the pawn shop business. He had one
in
Somerset, Kentucky. And he was a pastor of a small town church in Pulaski County, Kentucky. He appeared to be loved by his local congregation.
That was kind of a common denominator.
Everybody loved they city's preacher. He gets the most love. The city preacher, that nigga damn near the mayor. Like, everybody like him. Definitely if he like a coach too. Oh, wow. But them little motherfuckers, they be cheating on their wives just like everybody else. They be liking little boys and shit, stealing your money, be money hungry. Be mad as hell you don't put nothing in the plate when they pass it around. Like, nigga, I'm obligated to pay you. The hell? I came here to get the word of the Lord, not to go broker. I'm already broke. Like, Like, I get it, pay your dues, you know, like, you know, help the church out if you're gonna come here so they can keep teaching you, help them out. That's like a YouTuber. You wanna help a YouTuber out, watch their videos, you know? That makes sense. But no, you can't get mad if they don't give you the money. Like, what the fuck? I can't get mad if y'all be like, I ain't liking that video. Like, Rich, I can't be like, what? What you mean? I took the time out to make it. Like, they didn't ask for it. Like, what the hell? It's crazy. Crazy.
Denominator for everybody involved is they were all heavily into the church, either as pastors, ministers, leaders, just in a church.
Brother Harold, he said, I feel horrible because he said, I got Mike Hockensmith into the pawn business.
The caller explains that one of his friends, Pastor Kenneth Allen Keith, had made suspicious comments about the case.
When I called Alan, it kept getting weirder and weirder.
Pastor Keith, who lives in Somerset, roughly 50 minutes away, just happened to be in Danville on the day of the murder. On September 20th, he drove 43 miles to get his wife's prescription in a local pharmacy where he wasn't a regular.
I said, you were in Danville? He goes, yeah. He says, I was in Danville to pick up my wife's prescriptions.
Alan's given us detailed step-by-step description of where he was that day.
Now I'm freaking out because I'm thinking, why are you telling me this? So pretty much Michael and Angela were innocent bystanders. And then he said they weren't innocent. They cost me a lot of money.
The investigators keep digging into his life and go through Pastor Keith's finances. They soon learn that he had once been a full owner of the pawn shop, but because of debt and poor finances, he was forced to give up ownership to Mike and Angie Hockensmith.
Kenneth felt cheated. He felt that pawn shop should have been his. And that Hockensmith basically stole it right out underneath his feet.
The motive is finally revealing itself. But there's a problem. Around the time of the crime, Pastor Keith was supposedly buying medicines for his wife. If his alibi was confirmed, and he was seen on the video cameras, he could be ruled out completely from being the murderer.
I was in Danville, but I was at the pharmacy. I'm standing in the pharmacy while all this happened.
We immediately dispatched investigators to retrieve the video from the pharmacy where he alleged that he had picked up the prescription.
Like when he said that, like, I'm in the pharmacy while all of this was happening, did he think, like, oh, the cops never gonna actually check that? Like, nigga, what pharmacy? They gonna ask that and then they gonna be like, okay, well, let's go talk to the pharmacy and check the cameras. You can't lie. And then we talking about killing people. You ain't just killed somebody. It's already bad that you killed somebody, but you killed parents with their kids there, like in Kentucky. Like, what the fuck? They don't kill their own kind down there. We go get the other ones, the ones that like to come in here and when you touch them, they skin rub off on you. You know, you can't put gloves on when you shake your hands. You don't want to catch it. You know what I mean?
For his wife.
If he was in there during the time of the shooting, then he wouldn't have been a suspect.
And then, cops see Pastor Allen Keith on the security cameras of the pharmacy at 9:24 a.m., which is only 8 minutes after the time of the murders. It would be impossible for him to be at two places at the same time. Therefore, this alibi could completely rule out their prime suspect and potentially derail the whole investigation. However, there's only one person the cops can really trust who can give more insight as to what happened that morning. 9-year-old Andrew, the young survivor who called 911 the day of the murders. If Andrew can provide any evidence that Pastor Keith was indeed at the pawn shop and not at the pharmacy at the time of the murders, the case could finally be solvable.
What happened today earlier before you and I met?
Yes. Anyways. And that reminds me of the dead people.
That reminds me of the dead people. What the fuck you mean, dead people? Nigga, them are your parents. Oh, man, there's so many bodies. Bodies after bodies. You making me think you did the shit. You trying to cover the shit up, little nigga? It's dead people. Oh, man. Oh, man. That was crazy how he could just say that. Like, What?
September 20th starts like any other day. The Hockensmiths arrive at the shop and open it at 9 a.m. Andrew starts to play a game in a corner, while his parents prepare the business for the day ahead. Within a few minutes, a client enters.
The gold man, Dan Smith, came in.
While Andrew's dad talks to Dan, Angie rocks Naomi in her arms, near the register. Dan, the gold man, is a regular at his parents' shop. The interaction is normal, mundane, and Andrew's attention goes back to his own activity. In between studying sessions with his mom, the little boy has plenty of time to test out some of the new games sold in the store.
Shortly after, this guy, he came in as well, and I was like, he's kind of weird looking. He starts to pull out a gun and kind of raises his voice and says, "Get on the ground." And we all did because we was petrified.
Andrew, his mom, and sister are huddled up in a corner, hiding, terrified. They secretly watch in horror as the intruder fires his weapon 8 times. To the 9-year-old boy, the weird sounds are identified as darts. In the midst of the chaos, he looks right at what would become his father's last moments.
It's darts, nigga? I mean, I don't know about darts, but I guess since he was only 9. But a 22, it sound weird. It sound like a little firecracker, kinda. It's like, it ain't like, pow, pow. This is some little simple shit. Pack, 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 pack.
Dad was like, "Please stop." He started rolling around until he wasn't. He stopped.
The gunman then turns to Dan. It's at that moment that Angie understands what will happen to them as the intruder starts to make his way to them. She and her children are the next targets. In one final act of courage, Angie turns to her 2 children. There's only one hiding spot left in the shop.
My mom, she told me to go in the back with my sister.
Ain't no way I could explain this. Mom, like me, I'd be in here crying like a motherfucker. This nigga watch his daddy die right in front of him. People done lost their parents, but watch that nigga die right here, get gunned down, screaming, stop, 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 and then your mom, like, knowing she finna die, you know she finna die, you know I'm finna die, so she tell you, like, run off somewhere and go hide. And you take the baby on some scare shit. Somehow you know the phone to call the cops, everything. Like, damn.
My mom, she told me to go in the back with my sister. I crawl all the way back to the office. I sit my sister on the couch. I'm sitting right beside her.
Now hidden in the office, Andrew hears 4 more gunshots. Then, silence. A few more seconds of silence go by. Andrew and Naomi try to remain quiet, but the boy knows he has to take a look outside and see if his parents are okay.
I remember crawling over to the doorway and seeing that my mom was just laying there with a puddle.
God.
Devastated, Andrew drags himself back to the office area. He and his sister seem to be the only ones left alive. Now, Naomi's survival is all that matters. Andrew rushes to the office phone and dials 911, hoping that he'll get some help before the intruder figures out where he and his sister are.
A 9-year-old boy called 911 saying his family had been killed. What the little boy did before that is simply heartbreaking.
Excuse me. He grabbed his little sister up and he carried her in the office and he covered her with his body. And,
Okay.
It's just,
Yeah, he's still doing the
he's a hero.
He and his 14-month-old sister were not...
Nigga ain't dropped 1 tear. I hate watching people cry and they don't have no tears coming to their face. Just, cause I'm tell you right now, if I feel any bit of sympathy, I ain't no crying ass nigga. I'm not a nigga you probably ever see cry. I just don't cry. Even when I'm hurt, I'm just like, oh no, I guess like, you know, I got raised by the type dad and uncles like, nigga, stop crying, you know, like, nigga, be a man, like, you know that. So it kind of made me like solider as a person. Like, nigga, I don't cry much, which, you know, sometimes you do cry, you go off and cry, but I don't cry a lot. But when I do, immediately, them tears build up immediately. Like, they just, like, you can't help them bitches. Your throat be all this popped up, and now you looking up in the sky, blink. You know, you gotta get the hell out. It ain't no way I can stand in front of cameras about death and some shit I really care about and explain the story and got the voice and everything and not one tear fall out. Nothing. Motherfuckers would be doing shit. They don't be really sad. He probably a little sad, but he ain't hurt.
And he covered him with his body. And,
Okay.
it's just,
Yeah, still do the interview.
he's a hero.
He and his 14-month-old sister were not physically hurt.
I ran very fast with my baby sister. I just didn't want to be killed.
Thanks to Andrew's bravery, quick thinking, and recollection of the chain of events, Pastor Keith's alibi starts to crumble, and police can confidently build a case against him. Suddenly, all the clues that were collected right after the crime make perfect sense. Pastor Keith is the owner of a silver minivan. Right before the shooting and right after, a security camera had caught a similar car driving around the pawn shop. And thanks to Andrew's secret 911 call, this crucial timestamp makes it completely possible that he could have gone to both places almost at the same time. Without this, Pastor Keith could have gotten away with his pharmacy alibi.
From the pawn shop to the pharmacy, that was a doable time.
That's what I was saying. Like, why didn't I say the time for the distance between each other? Like, is it 8 minutes, 9 minutes?
Finally, on October 9, 2013, 19 days after the murders, police finally have enough to arrest him and have 3 warrants. One for his home, one for his church, and one for his pawn shop in Somerset.
An investigator went in as a potential customer and made contact with Mr. Allen.
We discovered a box for a threaded device that can be purchased over the internet that can be fashioned into a makeshift silencer.
The discovery confirms detective suspicions that a silencer was used in the killings and explains Andrew's description of a high-pitched sound as his parents were shot.
And then also outside of the business, we found spent 22 shell casings and then a target that had been shot. So we believe that he was practicing prior to the shooting.
The 22 casings found in Kenneth Keith's pawn shop matched all the expended shell casings from the murder scene in Danville, Kentucky.
That nigga went in practice.
They were shot from the identical weapon.
Pastor Keith is arrested in his own pawn shop without incident. The Hockensmiths and Dan Smith's families are relieved. The man their loved ones once called a friend is behind bars. He had betrayed everything they stood for, but in the end...
Nigga gonna put John 7:51. Bro, there ain't time for this. You're a murderer, sir. And you not a murderer like on no gang shit or like you was defending somebody, you know, like self-defense, helping your homeboy out or helping yourself out or your parents or nothing. No. You cold-blooded. You supposed to be a man of God. And you let a motherfucking pawn shop drive you to kill people? Like, that's crazy. A bitch-ass pawn shop. Like, that shit wasn't even making you rich. I was paying one of your bills. That's it. You could have got that shit fucking with the deacon. She could have been paying you that. Nigga, we don't care about this shit on your arm. We don't. I don't even know what that even mean for me to care about you. Like, that's fucked up.
Justice prevailed.
But to be able to commit murders on Friday and then get up on the pulpit Sunday morning and preach.
That is crazy.
Especially in front of 2 children. You're going, wait a minute. That's not a real pastor.
To spare Andrew, his family, and Dan's relatives a long and painful trial, prosecution decides to offer Keith a plea deal for him to avoid the death penalty. Meanwhile, as the courts prepare for Keith's sentencing, young Andrew has found another outlet to share his grief. He starts to express himself through drawings and shares his feelings in the pages of a comic book. Andrew just went through unimaginable trauma, but was able to take his sister into safety and call for help. His parents always had his back, and on that day, he proved how much they were really alike.
My dad, he made things look so easy.
Man, shout out to that boy right there, man. I wonder if he like doing good. Like, if his life doing good. Did he ever get the help he need? Obviously he did, but like all the help he need is he physically, is he good? Mentally, is he getting better? Is he? Because I know he ain't good mentally. Hell no, you can tell. Hey, he's squeezing his motherfucking hands the whole fucking interview. Nah, he ain't good. But I hope he there. I hope his, you know, he got some money in his pockets. You know, his living situation great, because he straight got robbed. That nigga got robbed out of his parents. Not just one parent, or, you know, he traveled to his dad, or he gets shipped off to his mom. No, he got both of his parents taken together. This nigga had a family, a husband, mom, dad household, married, husband, wife, one daughter, one son, you know, and the son's the oldest, taking care. Like, he had the typical movie type of family, and got it taken away in one day. Oh, from a bitch ass preacher, a preacher, the one you go to when you need help, when you need answers. You go to your preacher and shit. Like, that's whack, nigga. I would never love a church again. Me personally, I don't even like church in real life. Like, I ain't even lost no preacher ain't did shit to me. I just don't fuck with church. Like, it just, like, it'd be the people, really. Like, church ain't, there's no problem with actual church. It just, I don't really like. I've been to a lot of churches, and I ran into a lot of people that's not really as holy as they claim to be. The motherfuckers is low-key assholes and super judgmental. But man, I hope he's straight, though. I hope he's straight. I hope Brady's straight.
Easy. He was truly an amazing person.
Despite the tragic end of Andrew's parents, they succeeded in protecting their children, which is what mattered to them the most. May 26th, 2017, it's Andrew's 13th birthday, and also finally the day of Pastor Keith's deal with the DA. He's directly sentenced to life without parole. His greed and jealousy will never hurt anyone again. Today, Andrew is surrounded by his loving family and recently got engaged. No one can ever take away from him the memories of his parents and their love, which will always be there to guide him through anything.
I've been told you're a spitting image of your dad. You look just like him. You act just like him. Naomi, she looks just like my mom. I'm very thankful for what I have. And in a sense, it's like I am living through my parents' life. My parents will always live on within me.
Oh, my mama, his parents always live on, nigga, in love and memory of Michael Hockensmith, nigga, Angie Hockensmith, and Dan Smith on Granny, no Hawkins, for sure. You see how he say he still be happy and everything? He still got through this. Whatever little problem you're going through, nigga, get through it, fix it. Get over that shit. Because you ain't get your mama and your daddy shot right in front of you. And I ain't saying, look, everybody's problems is everybody's problems. People get their own problems, so I can't say this person's problem is worse than yours because that's your life. But I'm just saying, this nigga grew up to get married, and he talking about he happy and shit. He lived through his parents' life. That nigga parents got shot 12 times in front of him. His mom got shot 4, daddy got shot 8. Come on, man. I think you can get through whatever the fuck you going through. That's why I don't be depressed too long. Like, as long as I've been depressed, it'd be about like a week. As an adult, it'd be about like 2 weeks. If I'm like depressed for real, it'd be like that long. Cause I just sit back and I'm like, nigga, my problems ain't nowhere. Niggas is out here losing their parents. Motherfuckers is dying. That's why I think I can get through whatever I'm getting through. You know, like, shit, man. But yeah, that's gonna be the end of this video, man. I need y'all to like, comment, subscribe, turn them post notifications on. And if you're thinking about doing some crazy shit, don't do it. Simple as that. Because we all go through them times and them moments where we just want to crash out, flip the fuck out. Just remember, don't do it. Because you're going to jail. Simple as that. You might go to hell. I'm out this thing. Peace.